Yeah, I got nothing.
Okay. I used to be afraid of the world outside my door, so I lived within the pages of a book. I used to be so scared of what I couldn't control. It seemed whatever I touched, I broke. The wind at my back, the grass so green, the sun on my face, it was all a dream till you said, wake up, wake up, wake up, take my hand. I'm here for you now, I'll help you stand. The world isn't so frightening, it's not all thunder and lightning, and as long as we are together, life can only get better. I used to be embarrassed about my eyes, my nose, my smile, so I hid my face behind my hair. I spent so many years feeling like I was drowning. Now finally I'm coming up for air. Laughing out loud, being part of a team, touching the stars, it was all a dream till you said, wake up, wake up, wake up, take my hand. I'm here for you now, I understand. The world isn't so frightening, it's not all thunder and lightning, and as long as we are together, life can only get better. Life can only get better.
Good morning. Good morning. Morning coffee. Got my dandelion. Is it tea? Yeah. I say it's replacement for coffee. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, I got a lot on my mind. This is not a normal, I literally got nothing. I have no notes. None. Why? Last week was like complete defiance. That's what last week was. It's like everything rebelled against me that I normally do. I don't think I did anything differently. I think I was still the kind individual. I know I'm not nice, but I try to be kind. And I worked really, really hard. Try to be there for people. Try to be a good husband. Try to be a good dad. Try to be a good neighbor. Try to work on things that I'm supposed to be doing. I've got my schedule. I love you. I love our community. And everything rebelled. I don't know. No clue why. So we had a bunch of breakdowns. I'm going to start by saying I'm sorry. Not necessarily to this community, because we still have everything's on schedule, but those of you who follow me over on jamiebuckley.com, learning about writing, and I'm sharing those things, and the podcast Nothing About This Is Safe. Guess what? I don't have a podcast this month. I had a special guest. I was so looking forward to talking to him. We've been planning on this for like 3 months to coordinate. And we get on, we have that time together, and everything goes wrong. I couldn't get a single program to function, a single audio, anything. It would record me, it would record everything, but not him. So we had to reschedule. And I don't know if it's going to take another 3 months. I have no idea. Got me so frustrated because it was all the same equipment and all the same programs that I've been using for years and years and years, and nothing would work. All the things to the point that I even stopped, apologized to him, and he even spent a good half an hour time with me on the Go Brunch call. We're looking at each other face to face through the cameras, and he's trying to help me solve this stuff. And he was baffled. I was doing everything right, but nothing would work. Kismet, is it a sign? I have no idea. That sure ticked me off. Because we're finally in the same room, finally doing this together, and then I couldn't do it. That was frustrating. Wow, that was frustrating. So I apologize. I don't know what I'm going to do. I got to figure out how to get my podcast stuff working again. So I bought more software, something different. So yeah, it was one of those things. It's funny. I hung out with Ruby. I had to do I'm getting ready to go in and build a chicken coop, and I need to repair the chicken run because we're feeding the whole neighborhood of birds, which is a bajillion of them, and they keep eating all the chicken feed, and I can't afford to feed nature. So I got to close off these little holes in the fence that the birds have been getting through. But they've really been getting through even the little tiny, separation between the roof and some of the beams that the aluminum roofing is nailed to. And I mean, these little gaps. Anyway, so we went to Home Depot. I was gonna buy some tools, get some staplers and some things like that, so I can close off these holes. And I take Ruby with me. And it was kind of a crazy week around here. We still, in our little community, we got this. We're super infected with measles. The last stats that I heard was some of the leaders in the community think, and the paramedics. We've got some paramedics that live here, and they say they think it's probably going to be close to a year before it goes through the whole town of like 1,000+ people. And anyway, so we're trying to keep isolated because my wife and I were, we got the shots, the immunization shots, and my wife decided when we had a hospital run last Monday? I can't remember. Anyway, last time she went down to the hospital, she took that test. Was it Tyget test? Anyway, to find out whether or not, your immunity level with measles. She is 100% not immune. So, we took the shots, and she's completely susceptible, 100%. So that goes to show that just because you got a shot, that doesn't mean crap. So I haven't taken the test either. So, but I mean, my immune system is so compromised and messed up. Anyway, it's funny all this. I'm taking Ruby with me. We go to Home Depot, and here she is. She's just turned 7, and she's like 7. I know I've joked about this, but I'm pretty sure she's like turned 30. Her personality is so okay, so you know me, I don't have a fear of people. I love talking to people. I love people. It's everything. I just like going out and mixing with people. I like meeting new people. I like having conversations. I like asking questions. I love people. I found out that my 7-year-old is pretty much the same way. She has zero fear, which is not a great thing when you are just 7 years old. Not always. So I asked her, I said, do you want to go with Dad? Do you want to go with Dad to Home Depot? And she looks at me and she goes, sure, I'll help you. What? I didn't ask for help. I asked for company. Anyway, so we ride. She always has something to say, something to tell me, some story. And I'll tell you about a dream that I had about her a little bit later. Anyway, so we go to Home Depot and we go in there. And she's just walking like 3 feet ahead of me. And she's just walking into this new place that she's never been before. This massive warehouse with all the, all these men, and then occasionally there's a woman in there, but mostly all men. and all with tools and stuff. And she goes in there. She goes right in through the front doors into these massive aisles, puts her hands on her hips, and she goes up. She looks around like this, and she goes, "All right, what do you need help finding?" And she's like, "How do you find things around here?" I says, "Well, the things that we're looking for, there's titles, there's names at the end of the aisles of what is on those aisles." "Okay, great. What are we looking for?" "We're looking for some hand tools. I need a stapler that I can staple, into wood, and we'll probably get some gloves, and I already got a tape measure, and I got everything else at home. We probably need staples too." She goes, "Okay." So she starts going the wrong direction. I said, "Ruby," I says, "it's that way." She goes, "Okay." She spins and just walks the opposite direction. And she's weaving in and out of all these men, these guys that look like bikers and stuff. And they're like, "What the heck?" And they're laughing because she's just boldly, no problem, not intimidated, not anything. We're walking around. Anyway, I'm looking at one thing because all of a sudden I realize, I probably need to get a wire cutter. So I'm looking at that. And then she yells, she goes down half the aisle and yells, "Dad, I think I found staplers. They're right over here." And men are just looking at this little 7-year-old and laughing their heads off. They're like, "Cool kid, man." Anyway, but we get to the point, okay, so we got the stapler, we got the staples. I ended up getting a wire cutter. And then I was like, we need gloves. Dad's hands are very sensitive, and I'm not a builder, so I need some gloves. She goes, "Okay." So we're looking around and looking around. We can't find where the gloves are. I realize I'm a city kid. Anyway, she says, "Dad, we need to ask somebody." "Yeah, you're right." She goes, "Dad, him." And there's a guy one of the employees, an older gentleman, big old beard. He looks like he's in his late 60s, early 70s. Anyway, just helped a guy. And she says, "You need to ask him, Dad. Look, he's got an apron and it says Home Depot on it." I said, "Okay." I said, "Sir." He turns around and anyway, I said, "I'm looking for gloves." He goes, "Oh, you were almost there. It's the next one over." "Okay, cool." So we go over and he says, "So show me your hand." He goes like this, and so I hold my hand up to his. He says, "Almost the same size." He goes, "I'm thinking you're probably either an 8 or a 9. He says, "The 8's probably going to be a bit too snug because we have about the same size hands." He goes, "I'm going to guess it's probably a 9, so just do that." And Ruby's standing there, and she's holding her hand up like this. And he looks down at her, and she doesn't blink. She's just holding her hand up. And he goes, "Well?" He holds his hand up to her. He says, "Sweetheart," he goes, "as much as I'd like to help you, I don't know that I have any gloves in your size." She looks at him and she goes, "That's okay. Thanks, you were of help." All right. Okay. All right. Whatever. So she's quite the character. Quite the character. I like hanging out with my daughter. I had a dream. Actually, I had like 4 dreams. And it was the same dream. The exact same dream over and over, which usually tells me it's going to happen. And my dream is, I think I shared this with you like a year or so ago, but I don't know, it's been on my mind again lately. The dream is, it's always, I see it's a warm day and beautiful skies, puffy white clouds and gorgeous blue. And I'm sitting on this hill of this lush grass. It's like the grass out front of our school or out in front of our church in our community. It's a really thick lawn. And I'm sitting there, and I'm just dressed in jeans and t-shirt and a hat. And my daughter, Ruby, is sitting next to me, and she's 17. I just know she's 17 years old. Beautiful, beautiful young lady. And we are laughing our butts off. We are just laughing. And I knew we were telling jokes to each other, and she was being sarcastic. And it just hit my funny bone. She does that with me often. And I like that dream. And I always wake up just smiling and feeling happy. And I've had it 4 times. Anyway, who knows? But I enjoyed that. So I've apologized. I had that experience with Ruby, and there's so many good things that are going on. I mean, the rest of the week, well, it was still challenging. But I'm excited. I'm really, really excited of I'm getting my stuff together. I'm not going to tell you what I'm doing. I want to tell you once I'm done. I still want to practice this. I overcommit myself. But what I have been doing is I have been taking my old book, my original book, all my dreams and hopes of what I wanted to do as a storyteller. All of it. All the things that I wanted to create with Wanted Hero, with Wendell, with the characters and all that. And they're being put into motion. I'm now doing things that I honestly never thought I'd get a chance to do. Doors are opening that I never really, I hoped, but I didn't count on them opening. And what does that mean? That means more fun. Anyway, so I'm learning my strides. Yeah. And I'm looking forward to this. So what have we got this week? We've got more writing of Chronicles of a Hero, of course. We've got some speed drawings. I got a notification that Ezra and the girls have been in the studio. They're working on more music. They said that they've got some articles for me this time. That's new. So I guess I'll be passing those on at some point. And yeah. Hoban and I have been talking quite a bit. We've been doing a lot of indexing. So he's been getting out some of his old files to update some stuff in the FAF. So that'll be fun. That'll be a lot of fun. I've got a fun... You know what? I want to do something for you. Since I had a crappy week last week, well, challenging week last week. Yeah, it wasn't crappy. It had a lot of good things in it. I want to give you a present today. We had the 57% off birthday sale last week, and thank you for all of you who showed up, and I hope you enjoy your treat. But I've got a wallpaper. It's one that I wish I could flip this around and show you what I use on my computer. But I've got a Wanted Hero wallpaper. It's got 50 characters or something on it, and I really enjoy it. So I'm going to gift that to you. I'll put it down in the description, and you just click on it and do save. I guess save image as, and just as a a screensaver, a wallpaper, background. I have it on my computer all the time. And that's pretty much it. I'm gonna go to work. I'm gonna have an awesome day, and I'm gonna get on a tool belt and go do big guy manly stuff. I hope. I'm not that guy. I'm that guy, but I'm not that guy. If you know what I mean. If you don't, well, whatever. It's going to be an awesome week. It's going to be an awesome day. Oh, don't forget to hang out with us with Anne this morning with Tell Me a Mystery. We do that. All the link's always down below. Come show up. If you're a writer, you should come hang out with us. Just make some new friends. It's a handful of us that do it on Mondays and Wednesdays each week. We just write together. Sometimes we have conversations. And it's fun. Anne's wonderful. Why would you not want to hang out with Anne? Yeah. So, that's it. Not too bad for not having a list, I hope. Oh, well, if you were bored, you could have walked away. That's not on me. So, you have a wonderful day. You have a wonderful week. Remember, you are more than you think you are. Because you are. You are. Your mom says so. Just saying. We'll see you next time. Bye.